Welcome. Folks, I am joined here today by Mr. Johnny Martinez from Borderland Sports 915. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Steve.
Yes, sir. So you might have to get a little closer to the mic so they can hear you good.
Gotcha.
But now, folks, we wanted to jump on. Chapin tips off in less than 50 minutes, and we wanted to kind of go through real quick and give our opinion, because again, it's all an opinion, of what we think the keys to success for the Huskies will be tonight, as well as kind of talk about the showcase. That's something that we've been working hard on, and we want to kind of get that out before this game starts. And let's jump right into it, man. And so let's look at this Chapin game. Big matchup between them and Birdville. Birdville's a 23rd ranked team in the state. Chapin's 25th, 34-3, 35-1. And I'm gonna say two very conflicting styles. If you look at the rosters, Birdville's big. They're long, 6'6", 6'7", 6'8". I think the shortest player on their team is 6 feet tall.
Right.
That's gonna be an issue.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then a couple of those bigger guys are guards. Right? You've got 6'6", 6'7" guards. That's going to be an interesting dynamic.
Yeah, because you got players like Jacob Garcia, Savion Jordan, even Keyshawn that got to now get those shots off over a higher hand. That's going to be interesting. So let's jump into it really and see. We were sitting here talking about it. I think some of the key players for Chapin is obviously the big fella in the middle, Jaden Leverett, 18.7 points per game in the regular season. I think that number's gone up to probably like 26 probably in the playoffs.
Right.
I think they're going to have to lean on the big fella. He's going to definitely have to step his game up. Just my personal opinion. I think probably the first 4 or 5 times he touches the ball, he's got to try to take somebody through the rim to send a message. And I think that will set the tone for the rest of the team.
Well, I think Jaden's also someone that they go to when they need a bucket desperately. Yeah. They get him a touch in the paint, and he's usually able to, bully someone or kick out for an open shot for them. So he's definitely going to need to show up. But also defensively, right, with all the size that they have, he can be a force defensively with the steals and blocks, and then initiating transition for them. So that's going to be a key for them as well with Jaden.
Yep, and it's 6'11". I think their tallest player is 6'8". But the interesting thing is what the Huskies have been able to do is their guards have been able to play extra aggressive because they can funnel everything to the big fella in the middle, right? Are they going to be able to do that tonight?
Right.
No knock to the kid. I think Jacob Garcia may be 5'9", 5'10".
Yeah.
6'6" is looking right on top of that.
Yeah.
And so what that means is that every defensive shot that goes up, 5 bodies have to be boxing out.
Absolutely.
If they're not boxing out, Birdville's going to kill them on the boards, and it's going to be a long game. But if they can keep them off the offensive glass, and they got some shooters. Yeah. Birdville does have some shooters.
Yeah.
So contesting and still being able to box out, I think Chapin definitely has a good chance. I like their odds.
I think another thing with Chapin is to control the pace of the game, right?
Yeah.
They're used to El Paso being able to run up and down on teams. Maybe that might not be the best way to go about today's game. So just controlling the pace, playing within themselves, and not getting forced into the pace that Birdville wants to play at, I think is going to be big for them.
Definitely. And, to his credit, Tevin came in and he implemented some half-court stuff.
Yeah.
And he forced them at times throughout the season to execute in those half-court sets for this very reason.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see. Another player for the Chapin Huskies is, and this is who I think is the X factor in this game. Savion Jordan cannot have 6 points.
Yeah.
If Savion Jordan has 6 points, Chapin loses. Savion Jordan has to go for 10 to 12 points, or they lose.
Yeah.
They had an off shooting night last game. I got it. They can't do that twice. But this young man has to step his game up in order to give them an opportunity to go to the Final Four. He can't have 6, 8 points. He's got to be in double-digit scoring. He's their second option on the team, and I think he's going to have to carry some of that load for Jaden tonight. Not only just him, but the other guards as well. But this young man is going to definitely have to show up and show out.
Yeah, I think he's gonna need to hit some outside shots. Like you said, the shots weren't falling for most of them last game against Denton. I think he's gonna need to hit some outside shots and be able to create for them as well, because I think they're really gonna key in and focus on Jaden. So yeah, you're absolutely right. Savion's gonna need to step up offensively.
And I think that they're gonna have a lot of one-on-one opportunities because they're gonna be trying to double down on the big fellow. Another one is Jacob Garcia. I think he had 12 points last game, had a good game. They're probably going to need about 15 out of him.
Yeah, I mean, Jacob had a really good game last game. There were some moments where he got a little bit too fast within himself, but he's a big key for today, the outside shot, because I feel like you're absolutely right. They're probably going to send some doubles at Jaden if they feel like they're struggling, and that's going to open up some shots for guys like Jacob to hit on the outside. And I would say he's their best shooter, so he's going to need to hit some from the outside, but also he's going to be the one to control the pace and control the speed of the game.
Yes. And then this young man, and I want to go back to Savion for 1 second.
Yeah.
He's also got to do it on the defensive end too.
Absolutely.
He's going to have to play both sides. He's going to have to play two ways. They have a few players that have the luxury of just focusing on one side, and they can get because of him and because of Jacob to help Jaden. But he's going to have to lock down on both sides. And the other one is this young man right here, Keyshawn Lawrence. I've been hearing all year he's a defensive player of the year. He's going to have to show it today. I think they have a D1 guard for Birdville that he's probably going to be on. He's going to have to I won't say shut the young man down, but he's going to have to do to that young man what he did to Devin from Eastwood, what he did to Tristan from Eastlake. Like, he's going to have to lock in on the defensive end, but he's also going to have to score his average.
Yeah.
He's got to give them 6 points. If he can give them 6 points, they've got a chance. I think the big fella's going to get his. He'll get 18 to 20. I even think that Jacob's going to get that 12 to 15 points.
Yeah.
If Savion and Keyshawn step up and just give me your average.
Yeah.
Chapin puts themselves in a beautiful position to win.
Yeah.
And then if you got a young man, what's his name? Real good shooter.
Julian Pacheco.
He's got to knock down some shots.
Yeah. He was a little off last game against Denton, but he's normally a really good shooter. He's going to get some open looks for sure. Because I think, like we've talked about, defense is going to know that, Jaden, Savion, Jacob, they're going to know to key in on them. And so it's going to open up shots for guys like Pacheco and Keyshawn Lawrence. And also off the bench, Carlos Puente as well.
And so they're going to have to make some open shots. Yeah. That last game, they missed a lot of wide open shots. They're going to have to make some of those open shots. This young man's going to have to knock down a 3 or 2 to get him a chance. But I think if they can do that and keep Birdville off the boards, they'll be playing in the Final Four on Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah, they're going to need to dig deep defensively, like you said, on Keyshawn. He's going to need to do what he's done all year with these guys at Birdville. And also Carlos Puente off the bench. He's also a guy that they lean on defensively. That those two guys are going to need to step up because Birdville's going to be keyed in on the main guys. Definitely.
And then I think the big albatross in the room is this. And it's happened to Chapin a couple of times, right? Jaden Leverett can't get in foul trouble. Jaden Leverett cannot get in foul trouble. I think it's happened in the last 3 years in the playoffs.
Yep.
Big fella has to stay on the floor. He's got to figure out a way to stay on the floor. He's got to figure out a way to impact the game defensively while not creating fouls.
Right.
I think if those things can happen, you're looking at a W for Chapin, and will they be the first team to make it to the Final Four?
It's been a while that
The Andrews
in 2015 they made it to the Final Four.
Yep. So.
Yeah, so it's been a long while.
But no, those are I think if those keys can happen, then they will definitely be fine, and they'll be able to punch themselves a trip to the Final Four. I think it's in San Antonio. I think they would play on Tuesday.
Right.
So they basically get back,
rest up,
and get on a plane.
Yeah.
I think they probably fly out on Sunday or Monday.
Probably, yeah.
Reality of it is. But no, I think if those things can happen, they win the game. Let's take a look at the showcase. And today, we're just going to let everybody know right now. We did send invitations out to everyone but the teams that were still playing in the playoffs. So there are some invitations still needing to go out that we're waiting for the playoffs to finish before those invitations go out. We do not want to be any kind of distraction for them at all. And so today we will only just look at the girls. So we'll take a look at the senior girls, senior girls and Rising Stars girls on who the top 20 for each were, the invitations that went out, and just to reiterate that they got about a day to get that stuff in if they want to play in the showcase. Let's jump into this. Senior girls. We sit here for like 3 hours, if not longer.
Yeah, it was a process.
I mean, and that was after we had already went through these lists like 4 or 5 times days before to come up, because there's some players that got left off.
Yeah,
we got it.
There's a lot that went into it, guys. Steve and I watched the games, right? And we also have photographers that are at the game, so that I consulted with our photographers, videographers. It was a process in going through this, but we also relied on some of the voting from the coaches, right?
Yes.
So
this senior showcase came down to coaches' input for the large portion of it,
right.
And then we filled in the rest. So these are the coaches' picks in almost all actuality. Yeah. There are four or five alternates that we have identified. So come Tuesday, if we haven't heard from the young ladies on this list on whether or not they're going to play at the showcase, we're going to reach out to the alternates, because we have to get sizes and everything to our partner, our apparel partner, Wooter, so that we get these uniforms back in time. I think it's, but there's no other way to put it. I mean, that we have to get them to them by Monday in order for them to get these uniforms back in time for the showcase to happen. So we're trying to get the uniforms back April the 1st, so that gives them a month to knock it out. So,
yeah, we're pressed for time here a little bit, but that's the reason for the urgency. But obviously, you guys will be able to keep the jerseys. It's a good thing to have. But yeah, we're working around the clock to make sure that this goes well for you guys. It's something that we really wanted to do for the community. So if you guys could just help us with being responsive in terms of letting us know, if you're going to be able to play in the game or not, and then filling out the forms that we've sent out so far.
Definitely. So we sent invites out. I DM'd, you DM'd on Instagram, on Twitter. Just respond. I mean, if you can't play, you can't play. It is what it is, but we need to know so that we can go to the next name on the list, because like I said, there are 5 alternates for each one. Now we're going to take a look at the Rising Stars girls. Same thing. For this one, I think this one might actually take a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And that was because that was our staffs sitting down and selecting the who we thought were the top 20 juniors, freshmen through juniors. And so here's, for anyone that knows me and have had the conversation with me, you kind of know what my philosophy is on this, right? So in another life, I used to run a college prep recruiting company. And I was a former college coach. And so one of the things that, I don't say that just like, yeah, but like one of the things that came out of that was you have to show coaches that there's talent here.
Absolutely.
And so for us, it was imperative that we got the top 20 players that were juniors and freshmen to show that. And so it was a interesting day, to say the least.
Yeah, it was really tough because you've got a lot of schools that did really well that have, shining underclassmen, right? So that made it difficult, but also just going back, looking at the stats, looking at how teams did. It was a whole process. Just know that.
And we took this list from 45 to 20, 25.
Yeah.
That was tough. Getting to 45 was tough initially, and then taking that and it was like, okay, now who comes off?
Right.
And so me and Johnny have had this conversation, and I'll put it out here publicly because I told you before. Everybody has an opinion on this, right? If you're going to get on social media and say something about it, that's fine, but be willing to have the conversation on who you would take off the list. Because if you're not willing to have that conversation, you're just out there for clickbait. But that's a conversation that we're willing to have. Is like, okay, there are young ladies on this list. Who comes off? So if you're going to publicly get on there and say such and such, why is such and such not on there? Be publicly willing to say who should come off.
100%. And, we've always been transparent when we've put out rankings. I know you're the same.
Yep.
In terms of, I don't mind, any criticism or questions that anyone has, because we can back it up with reasoning. And we spent a lot of time on this list, and I'm really comfortable and happy with how it came out. So we don't mind the criticism, but yeah, like Steve said, if you feel like someone got snubbed, then tell us where who's coming off, right? That's the difficult part. So
yeah, I mean, there's 5 more young ladies who have a legitimate gripe to be on this list, and I will give them that 100%. They have a legitimate gripe to be on this list. We had to cut it at 20. Yeah. Now here's one thing I will say. We'll put those alternate names out later today. And in my opinion, those young ladies are rising stars. If they want to order a jersey, we will allow that. So I will put those names out later today. And if those young ladies and young men want to order that jersey just in case somebody drops out and they can fill right in, we will allow that. They can come to the banquet, participate in all the activities that come with it, but they are an alternate.
Right.
And I need that to be clearly understood, but we will afford them the opportunity to partake and enjoy. And, at the end of the day, it's motivation.
Yeah.
It's motivation. But
especially for the rising stars, right? They've still got years to prove that. This is going to be a yearly thing, you know.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. And so I just put it out there. This is something that we plan on doing every year going forward. This isn't a one runoff. And so that's why you see the media day. That's why you see us hosting the banquet at Starlight Event Center. This is something we plan on doing yearly going forward to showcase these student athletes, not only locally, not only regionally, but nationally and world globally. All the games will get streamed out. I've tapped into the College Coach Network that we have on our side as far as coaches watching. I am going to make the announcement today. And we've sat on this for, I guess, a month.
Yeah.
on the awards, right?
Yeah.
So we went through, and so the Boys Rising Stars Showcase Most Outstanding Performer trophy will be named after Tristan Newton, the current NBA player from Burgess. And the Girls Rising Stars MOP trophy will be named after Samantha Stooks, the current coach at Northern New Mexico. Samantha Stooks will be our guest speaker for the event. She'll actually be down on the 8th for the media day. She'll stick her head, pop her head in there. And then we've got 3 or 4 college coaches that will make some cameo appearances. It won't be in person, but it will be in person because it'll be virtual. So they'll call in during the banquet. Banquet will last about an hour and a half, 2 hours. It's funny because I just locked in the menu and paid the deposit and everything. So I'm super excited about this event. The amount of exposure that these student athletes are going to get, I think, is going to be unparalleled. They're going to go play all summer, but having the opportunity for the country truly to see you play against your peers and to put your stamp on your name amongst your peers in El Paso, I think is going to be huge.
Yeah, it's something that I feel the community's been lacking. The boys haven't had one in a very long time.
I think like 2015 or 2016.
Yeah, something like that. And a Rising Stars has never been done. So we feel like it's just an opportunity to display El Paso's best. And we have an opportunity to do that, so we want to have that for the community.
And again, I want to put this out there. This is for the kids. This is all about the student athletes. So let us as adults not get in the way of this.
Yeah.
And let's promote and support and help these student athletes. Because at the end of the day, we all are trying for the same goal, and that's to help them continue to play and to leverage athletics and academics to minimize their cost of going to college.
Right.
And so let's keep that in mind as we go forward with this and support.
So far, it's been really positive, so hopefully it continues that way. But, we'll see. But, it would be great for that positivity from everyone to just continue.
Definitely. We gotta support things like this. Support, share, like I said. And then finally, if you're a business owner out there and you're looking to be a part of this event, because it's going to be bigger and better than people are expecting, I think. Reach out. We're still taking on sponsors. There's definitely still some sponsorship opportunities available. And the more we can.
Yeah, it's definitely opportunities for you business owners. We're combining both of our platforms, and then our pool of photographers and videographers that have some stuff that they're working on currently. You'll have an opportunity to be a part of that.
Yep. So like March 8th, Media Day. One of our sponsors, The Spot, has agreed to allow us to do the media day there. Spot's a big roller skating rink located on Dyer Street. So we'll do the media day there, and then we'll turn around, and the banquet is on April the 10th. So we got a little bit of time on the banquet, but start placing your orders now for your food, because we got to get a head count, because March 27th I got to turn in everything so that everyone's meals are prepared for the banquet. And then April 12th, that Saturday, Canyon Teal, we tip it off and have these games. And so I'm excited. I'm looking forward to this, man.
Yeah.
This is something that has been in the making for me for 3-4 years. I've had these conversations with several coaches on the boys' side and the girls' side. And we just want to help, man. Just want to help.
Yeah, no, for sure. I've gotten this question a lot in terms of RSVPing. You can do that on the form that you guys fill out.
Yes.
In terms of for the banquet, for family and friends that would like to go, on the website they can purchase the tickets for that. So those are 2 questions that I've gotten a lot from athletes.
Yeah.
So just wanted to say that here. And then just reiterate, if you guys could please fill out the form. We're reaching out via Instagram, Twitter. You'll get an invitation from either Borderland Sports 915 or from Fieldhouse through direct message.
Yep. And the banquet is, if you just get tickets for the banquet, it's $55. Starlight Event Center ain't cheap, y'all. And it's going to be a sit-down meal. It's not buffet style. You're going to get, so you got a choice of 5 meals on there. And then if you want to just get tickets, it's $15, right, for the showcase. Yeah. But if you pay $60, you get a meal ticket and a ticket to the showcase. Yeah. Save yourself some money. Go online, save yourself some money, and knock it all out now. It's payday. Today's payday, so. Yeah. Today's payday. Go and knock it out. And some people probably got their taxes back too. So go ahead and knock that out and come out and support. There's no reason why this banquet shouldn't have 400 people sitting in it. Yeah. There's no reason why, unless you're just got something going on or it ain't really about the kids. I'll put it at that. But I think that should do it, my man. I don't have anything else.
No, I think we're all good. Like I said, just help us out with filling out the forms or letting us know that you guys are not going to be able to make it, so we can let alternates know. And good luck to Chapin.
Yeah, good luck,
Everyone
Chapin.
Should be rallying for them.
Definitely, everybody should be rallying for them. This is about to end in a second, but good luck to the Huskies tonight. Watch it on NFHS.